Canada. Oh dear. Canada. So you had all the elections, and Justin Trudeau has just been voted back in. This despite being mired in controversy, conspiracy, criminal acts, and all kinds of other fun and games. He got in despite losing heavily on the NAFTA deal, despite bowing down to elites over the pipeline and trampling over the rights of the indigenous people there. He ditched election reform, and during his past 4 years elbowed a female politician whilst in the assembly building. It is said that he inherited a fairly robust economy. I wouldn't describe it as booming. And he's been accused of squandering it, and accused of uncontrolled spending and tax hikes, making life harder for Canadians. He's also overseen a loss of 17,000 jobs in Canada this year alone. Claims of over-regulation, high taxes, and then you throw in scandals which includes prostitution, threats and bribery. And despite all that, Canadian people voted him back in. But the problem is the cabal. Right? No. Wrong. The Canadian people had a chance to speak, and they put that goon back in again. It's all sad. An interesting move. Financial giant JP Morgan hired more than 20,000 people in the US last year, and roughly 10% of them, or 2,100, had a criminal history, it is said. And it said if CEO Jamie Dimon's plans are realised, those employees will eventually be joined by many more co-workers with similar blotches on their record. And they announced on Tuesday, I think it was, several major steps to encourage second chance hiring for those with criminal records. And the bank is officially banning the box, it said, removing all questions about criminal records from its job applications. And it will steer more than $7 million towards organisations that provide job and life skills training to the formerly incarcerated. And it's also launching a new policy centre, a think tank of sorts that will design and advocate for regulatory changes around certain economic issues. And its first agenda item, reforming rules that effectively bar former felons from employment in finance and elsewhere. Well, I can only praise that move. There's a lot of people who have been in prison or are in prison that would not be there under natural or common law. No harm, no crime. So that's a fairly positive move by JP Morgan. But given given the elements of criminality at the top end of that company for well over 100 years, it suggests it's not a particularly new venture, as they've kind of always employed criminals, have they not? They are at least trying. I have to give credit where it's due. They are trying, not only on that, but other levels as well. So that's good to see. This is posted in the MeWe chat, and it's a short summary of a bill, S168, that has been filed in the Massachusetts legislature by Senator Martini under the guise of a solution to end human trafficking. Now, the bill, if passed, would require more professional licensure for more than 200 alternative and complementary holistic modalities that direct movement or work with energy in the body, which the bill defines as bodywork. Now, licensure would require training at state-approved schools for which no courses of study are currently available for these 200 plus modalities, offering no direct route to licensure for many of these practitioners. You see, this is an example how bills work in their world. It always has double meanings, it's always got hidden clauses and many sinister intentions. This is what I say, you have to read the whole piece, because the headline is often a lie. End human trafficking. How does end human trafficking suddenly discount more than 200 alternative and complementary holistic modalities? The two don't mix. But this is how they throw these things in, like the Paris Climate Agreement, which we will cover later.